Hey, welcome back, folks. We are here in Canton, Michigan, actually Plymouth, Michigan, the Canton Plymouth Airport. Ironically, where the world tour with my family actually started. It's not far from my hometown. And just in case you didn't know, another thing that I do is, well, aside from touring the world and exploring with my family, and you all now as well too, I actually fly for an organization, Platinum Airways. They are a fantastic organization, fantastic airline. We not only fly standard routes for charters and various purposes. We have military missions, supply chain missions, as well as a lot of humanitarian flights that we take as well. So one of the things, though, that we also do are flying to certain special events for our customers. And in fact, there's one going on in Chicago these next 4 days. So starting tomorrow for 4 days, there is Lollapalooza 2022. Lots of big names that many of you might recognize. It's a pretty big 4-day music festival, and we are going to be taking some paying customers over to Lollapalooza. We're going to be landing actually in Chicago Midway Airport, so not too far. So kind of a great opportunity to take off locally and get us over to Chicago. So I'm going to go get the plane ready for flight, and then we'll come back when we're ready to get up in the air. All right, well, we received clearance from air traffic control. Our initial climb is going to be to 6,000 feet. We are flying ILS. As you can see, it's a pretty overcast day here in Southeast Michigan. And a few things that I like to grab before a flight as I'm flying here that I just thought I would share with you as well too. While you can all grab these resources online, it's also interesting to show you. So here's our general route. As you can see, we're taking off from 1D2 over to KMDW, which is Chicago Midway. And as of right now, it's about a 210 nautical mile flight, if everything goes as planned and we have no routing changes. I do like to capture this just to show you as well. However, another thing I like to capture is while flying in the actual world, these altitudes usually match the sim. However, I do like to capture what the game says for certain altitude thresholds that I'm going to need as I start approaching my last waypoints here. So it appears that the ILS should guide us to, or I should say the ILS should intercept us at around 3,400 feet as we make our final down to the runway, and which is going to be about 600 feet above sea level. And just to give you a little picture of the airport, we're landing on 31C. As you can see from the route, right, we're coming from the southeast. So we're going to be landing heading northwest into runway 31C at ILS. And I do like to capture the ILS frequency that you can see over here as 109.9 as well. We might get changed to a different runway approach, and we might have to look up the approach plates to pull another ILS frequency, as the Garmin G1000 in the plane itself is difficult to get to those frequencies. So we carry our charts with us in case we have to have a change made by ATC on the way. Otherwise, we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and get up in the air. Right. Landing gear up. Might be a bit of a bumpy ride. As you can see, the weather here is not fantastic. Already starting to hear some of this rain hit my windshields here.
Detroit departure Cessna Juliet November 316 is passing 1,300 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
Cessna Juliet November 316 Detroit departure altimeter 29.89er, continue as planned.
All right. So we departed south right out of the airport, and now we're going to have the nav take us most of the rest of the way. So we're approaching 6,000 feet. You might be able to get above these clouds, but for right now, as you can see, our visibility is pretty poor. So let's go ahead and get up in the plane, and get up in the air rather. We'll come back when we're a bit higher and see what the skies look like above. All right, quite a big difference up here, isn't it, folks? As you can see, we are approaching 6,000 feet, and we're looking pretty good right now. I think we're going to probably get called to higher altitudes. And let's take a look at our flight plan.
Cessna 316 climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
Perfect. All I was going to say was that
Climb
if...
and maintain 14,000 feet, Cessna 316.
All I was going to say is that if the flight plan did not include us... sorry, let me navigate first. If the flight plan did not include us getting up to altitude, I was going to go ahead and request a altitude increase, because as you can see, it's a little bit nicer to fly up here. Let's take a look outside. Yeah. Pretty cool. That's one thing I've absolutely always loved about flying is no matter what the weather looked like down there, most of the time you're able to go ahead and punch through a bit and see some blue. But might take a little bit of turbulence here in a second as we're just skirting the upper edge of this storm here. Let's take a look outside. And there we go. 7,200 feet right now. I was a meteorologist. I'd love to be able to explain to you exactly what we're seeing, but alas, I am not. I threw a name cumulonimbus out there, but I'm not exactly sure if that is what we're looking at here, but might be. I think it is. But check that out. It's like flying above a blanket of marshmallows. So nice to be above this mess. Weather's looking pretty similar in Chicago right now, so we have to see this on our way down. But anyways, I think we're going to be here for a while, so unless anything eventful happens, let's tune back in as we start to get ready for our descent. So let's get these customers safely to their Lollapalooza 2022 event. Well, not quite our descent yet. We are actually at cruising altitude. As you can see from the secondary display there. Oh, sorry, my pop-ups are getting in the way. We're about a little more than halfway across Michigan as we're making our way to the southern edge of Lake Michigan. However, you can see our ground speed is only about 121 knots, as we have 39 knot headwind at us right now too. So it is it's a little choppy up here. plane is jogging a bit, but it's still beautiful to be above the clouds. Again, quite a view. Just fantastic. I'm not sure what it's going to look like when we get down below there as we approach Midway. But right now it's just a blanket of clouds, blue skies, and soaking up our vitamin D through the windshield there. That's really nice. Oh, I apparently have my landing lights on, so we can go ahead and flip those off. Just wanted to give you a little tour here at 14,000 feet. Yeah, a little over 14,000 feet. So let me go ahead. Alright, so we have already begun our descent. ATC is directing us to 5,000 feet. Thankfully, the weather, you can see us rocking a bit still while the winds are still a factor. Weather doesn't look too bad here. Broke a little bit for us, so hopefully it shouldn't be too rough as we approach Midway here. So we're going to continue our descent, and we'll get back in touch as we're getting closer to the final. All right, folks. So
Cessna tree 16, wind 224 at 12. Cleared to land runway tree 1 center.
Cleared to land runway tree 1 center, Cessna tree 16.
we are on final. Not too long ago, we just picked up the ILS localizer, so that is now guiding the aircraft on a proper and safe descent. As you can see, we'll take a brief moment to look around. We are landing in Midway, downtown Chicago over there in the distance. Have to go visit that for sure. And again, I think our customers are pretty excited for Lollapalooza. But yeah, here we go. So Midway is up ahead. Let's get set. We get our airspeed around 85 knots. Really cool looking grid of an airport. Flying over, I believe that's Interstate 94. Approaching our 500 warning. Look here for you. We have little wind coming
500
out of the west. Nothing too bad, but definitely a little bit of a crosswind here.
Cessna Tree 16 exit runway when able.
Sir.
Cessna Tree 16 contact ground on 121.65.
Going to 121.65 Cessna Tree 16.
All right, so let me go ahead and finish our taxi, and we'll wrap up the aircraft. Well, actually, we're right here. We'll stay together. Why not? Hangar door. All right. There we go. All right, so we have arrived, passengers, and you can go ahead and whoa, they're already gone. Well, okay. I guess they were excited for Lollapalooza a little more than I thought. So, anyways, we are all set. Have arrived at our flight or our destination, and thanks for joining us on a fun little short flight from my hometown to Chicago as we get ready for Lollapalooza 2022. All right. Tune in next time, folks, and we'll see where we're going next.